lovely people, welcome back to my channel, or hey if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. For today's video I'm going to be doing a reading vlog and I'm going to be reading some of my anticipated new releases. So some books that I have been waiting for them to release, that I'm really excited about, that I hope are maybe going to be 5 stars perhaps. And yeah, we're going to read them in this video. I'm going to give you my full in-depth spoiler-free reviews of the books. I did a vlog like this a while ago and I read Wild Eyes and Daydream by Hannah Grace in that video and I had such a fun time. I feel like it's so fun to keep up to date with the current releases coming out and make time for them, because I do have an extensive TBR, but I do also want to keep up with the new releases that I'm anticipating. As always, let me know if you're going to read these books, or if you already have. They have been out when this video is going to be uploaded. They will have been out for like a couple of weeks. I think one of them has been out for almost a month actually. So yeah, let me know if you've read them, what you thought. One of them is actually our book club book pick of the month, which I will try to remember to link down below. It's on Fable. It's called the Inside Scoop Book Club if you want to join and read along. The two books in today's video are these two right here and I am so excited to read these. So up first we have The Rebel Witch by Kristen Cicerelli. I think that's how you pronounce her surname. I'm very sorry if I've just butchered that. However, this is the second book to The Crimson Moth. The Crimson Moth was one that I read last summer. I have like vivid memories of reading this book outside on our outdoor furniture when it was quite sunny, and I had a really great time with it. I actually rated it a 5 star. So as you can imagine, I have been waiting to finally be able to read The Rebel Witch. I'm so excited. This is actually a completed duology, so if you're in the mood for something that's a little bit shorter, a bit snappier, you know, you don't want a big long series, I highly recommend starting The Crimson Moth, because if as well you're someone who is not too developed in the fantasy world, which I am honestly not really, I would highly recommend giving The Crimson Moth a go, because there's virtually not a lot of world building and it's very easy to get into, very easy to read. It read like just super easy in my brain. I could understand everything. It didn't feel like I had to put a lot of brain power into it, and it's also a YA, so it is a little bit simpler to read as well. It's basically a witch and witch hunter, enemies to lovers romance. So if that sounds like a bit of you, this was really good. I highly recommend. And yeah, I had a great time. It's very witchy vibes, very like mysterious castles. It's kind of set in like Regency times, long dresses, that kind of thing. And in this one, our main female character actually, it's like a world where we've got this rebellion going on and witches are not allowed to be free. They're not allowed to even live. Like, they are a no-no. They're not allowed in this world. And our main female character is a witch, but she's kept it hidden for all of her life, and then now it's sort of coming into this new world where she wants to fight for witches and protect them, and the Crimson Moth actually is someone who saves witches who have been imprisoned. So it's very interesting and I love the premise. And then our main male character, he is actually like one of the top witch hunters and he hates witches due to something that happened in his life. He hates them a lot and he really wants to wipe the earth with witches. So she kind of pretends to be this like normal aristocrat woman who only cares about like dresses and appearances and things like that. So she kind of blindsides him, and that's this book. And then obviously we've got book 2, which continues on with the story. I love that it is a duology, so I'm very excited to get started with this one. I also really enjoy the covers of these books. So yeah, we're going to read this one in the video. And also we're going to be reading Wildside by Elsie Silver. This one is the 3rd book in the Rose Hill Ranch series. So we've got Wild Love, Wild Eyes, Wildside, and then we're going to get another one after. I am really enjoying this series. It's not as good to me as Chestnut Springs, but I am still having a really fun time with it. And I did read Wild Eyes in my last reading new releases video and I rated that a 5 stars. I had the best time with that book. West, yes, I love that book so much. So I have very high expectations for this one because I we got glimpses of who this is going to be about in the last book, and I was very, very, very hooked. So I'm interested to see their storyline, definitely. So without further ado, let's get into the video and read some anticipated new releases. I fear that this tracksuit has featured in one too many videos at the moment. I feel like I'm living in it at the moment. It's just the comfiest tracksuit I have ever put on. It's genuinely my favourite thing ever. I love the colour, I love the fit of it, I love how soft it is. I am obsessed. So if you see me wearing this in a lot of videos, then mind your business. So I thought I would do a check-in. I have read 70 pages since I last did a little check-in. Well, since I did the intro, I've kind of just gone and sat down just to start the book and sort of get into it a little bit. So I have read 70 pages. I'm on chapter 11 and so far I'm really enjoying it. I will say at the beginning I did kind of feel a little bit lost, just because this one and the first book, I feel like the time in between this one releasing has been quite a while, and I really feel like my memory needed to be refreshed on the story. I was a little bit confused, a little bit lost, and I was kind of like, what's going on? I do not recall the plot, but I feel like now I'm finally at a position where I'm starting to remember the storyline and remember the plot and things like that. So I am enjoying that. I am enjoying it now a lot more than I was at the start. It definitely feels like we've been thrown straight into the story straight away, and I love as well that we started the book on Gideon's POV, because I feel like a lot of the times we start with the female main character's POV, but I liked that we started with the male character's POV. I liked that, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. I feel like the first bit to get into has been a little bit confusing, but purely for the memory aspect. I was just like, what's going on? I just don't remember. That's probably a me problem though. And I will say as well, right off the bat, I just know that the enemies to lovers in this story is going to be so good. Like, so good. Rune and Gideon's relationship is, honestly, I love it. I genuinely love it. I feel like the enemies to lovers is done so well in this book, where it doesn't feel like repetitive, where we're just constantly, you know, having an argument, making up, running off again, having an argument, making up, running off again. It doesn't feel like that. It definitely feels like enemies to lovers, but you can see like the little hints and the little bits beneath the surface of their relationship and how they truly feel for each other. So I'm loving that, and I feel like, yeah, this story is just gonna be, I'm gonna love the romance, I already know. But I'm gonna go away now because I can't really update you too much because I have only read 70 pages. So I'm gonna go away now. I'm actually gonna take this dust jacket off because I don't like to read my hardbacks with the dust jacket on. I find it very distracting, and I also feel like I always ruin the dust jacket. But I'm gonna go away now. I really want to get to like the halfway point this morning. It's quite early now. I want to get to the halfway point because I am really striving to finish this book pretty quickly, because I feel like at the moment with fantasy books I've been taking like a week to read them, and then when I pass a certain amount of days of reading a book, I'm like, right, this feels like it's dragging on now because I've been reading it for like a week and I'm like getting tired of the storyline. I personally like to finish books quite quickly because then I feel like I enjoy them a lot more. That's probably just a me thing, but yeah, I would like to finish this fairly quickly so I feel like I'm really absorbed in the story. So I'm going to try and get to like the halfway point. How many pages are in this book? I don't want to get a spoiler. What am I doing? Okay, 455 pages. That's doable within like a few days, I feel. So I'm going to go away now, going to get reading, and I will catch you guys up at the halfway point. Hello everybody, I'm going to do a little check-in now. I have officially made it to chapter 32, page 200. So I am about that much of the way into the book, which I'm pretty impressed with that. I feel like I'm really getting into the story now, so I thought I'd do like a little halfway check-in point with you guys. I just feel like book one for me was really fun, it was really exciting, it was like nothing I'd really ever read before, because I'd not really read like a lot of fantasies, and I'd also not really read a lot of like witchy fantasies, and I'm not saying that I have now, but I just feel like book two isn't giving me that 5-star feeling. I'm not sure why, but you know when you can just tell right off the bat that you're not gonna rate a book 5 stars? That is me with this book. I'm still having a great time, like it's definitely giving 4-star energy, but it's just not giving me that 5-star feel like I expected it to. But I'm still having a fun time. I think it's because we have sort of like a lot of maybe some plot holes. Sometimes things don't really add up and they're not really explained too well to us. Like I feel like sometimes something will happen, like an event, and I'll be like, but how could that have happened? And then I'll be like trying to like figure out how that could have happened, but not in like a way of like, oh, like interesting, she's letting us figure it out on our own. Like no, like it's more like, huh? Like I fear that couldn't have happened. That doesn't make sense. I also think that the romance between the two characters is the one thing that is really pushing me on with the story. I love Rune and Gideon. I was gonna say Grune. I guess that's their ship name. Cindy is demanding her lunch, so sorry if you can hear her in the background. Yeah, 1 minute. So yeah, I'm having a fun time with this book. I think it's atmospheric, it's fun. All I would say is like a fun, it feels like almost like a cookie cutter enemies to lovers romantasy book. It's not really giving me anything unique or anything special, but I'm still having an entertaining time nonetheless. Like I am flicking the pages and it doesn't feel like I'm bored, it doesn't feel like I'm tired of reading. Like I'm having a good time, it's just nothing special to me. I don't really know, maybe book one was just right book, right time, I don't know, but I still stand by the fact that if you're new to fantasy or you're new to reading, it would be a great duology to start with. I think it's really, really good for that. And I also do really like Kristen Cicerelli's writing style. I think that she writes very beautifully, very like almost sometimes like poetically. Sometimes it feels very beautiful and like descriptive, and I like how she really creates the scene that we're in. She has a really great talent for creating like describing the setting that we're in. I always feel like I can picture it so vividly. I feel like I can picture the world so vividly, and I do love that. And I love that I can tell what the place, I feel like I know what the places look like in my head, which I love, love, love. I don't feel like I'm lost in that regard. And yeah, I'm having a fun time. It's just nothing special. It's definitely not giving me that 5-star feel, but don't let that put you off. Like it is still really entertaining. It's just not, I don't know. I don't know, but I don't really know if she could have done anything differently, because the story really had to go this way. So I don't know. Guys, I don't know, but it's fun. It's a fun time. It's what I'm needing right now. Just like a quick, fast-paced romantasy. It's definitely on the higher end of YA as well, I would say. It shocks me a little bit because I wouldn't really necessarily say like, oh, that's a YA book. Sometimes I'm like, wow, would I class this as YA? I don't think I would. Like, I would personally think that it's a little bit inappropriate for YA, honestly. I'm excited to see how it wraps up, but I feel like I can also predict how it's going to wrap up, because there's only really one way this can go. So, also, there is some plot twists. I have predicted them, and I feel like I'm right. Like, the plot twists are very easy to predict. That is another thing. But yeah, I feel like I've just yapped and yapped and yapped a whole lot of nothing. Very sorry, guys. I feel like sometimes I turn the camera on and I'm like, what am I even saying? Like, my reviews, I feel, are probably the worst book reviews. I'm like jumbling loads of thoughts together that probably don't make sense and just yapping. But I'm a yapper and I love it, so sorry. I'm gonna go off now and maybe take a break from reading. Actually, I've just made a matcha. I think I'm gonna just sit, have some screen time, and then get back to reading later on this afternoon. Maybe I'll finish it. I've not got any plans today, so we'll see, and I'll give you my full final review when I do. Good morning everybody! It has been a few days now and I feel like it's time to do a big check-in. So I'm going to make a matcha because my current obsession is the birthday cake matcha flavour that I've been having. It's so nice. So I'm going to make a matcha and then I'm going to update you on my final review of The Rebel Witch and my rating, and then I have actually started the next book, which is Wildside by Elsie Silver, so I'm going to do a little update on that because I am about 150 pages in, maybe a little bit over that to be honest. I started it last night before bed, and so far I'm really enjoying that one, so we'll do a little review of that. Actually, I fear I just lied. I'm not really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it, but I'm not enjoying it as much as her others, but regardless, I'm gonna do the review after I've made my matcha, so let's make a matcha. Okay, so we've got our milk, and then this is the matcha that I've been using. It is the birthday cake matcha from Bird and Blend. It genuinely is so nice. If you love a vanilla-y matcha, or you just really love a vanilla flavour, I highly recommend trying this one because it genuinely tastes like vanilla cake batter. Like I don't know how they make it taste like actual vanilla cake mix, but it's incredible, and it's also such a nice bright green colour. I love it when it's like a bright green matcha. I currently have Busy Woman by Sabrina Carpenter stuck in my head, like on a loop. I love that song so much, and I'm so excited to go see Sabrina Carpenter. I need to like figure out my outfit because at the moment I'm not sure. I'm thinking like some kind of cutesy dress, maybe like a light pink, maybe like a white. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that, but I'm so excited to go see her. I'm actually seeing her in Hyde Park, not on the Short and Sweet tour. Me and my sister are going to Hyde Park to see her then. I think it's like in July. So I'm really excited. It's gonna be like sunny, it's gonna be good vibes. I'm gonna get some like really chunky white platform boots, maybe. That could be fun because I feel like it's Sabrina, you have to wear like a platform. I love a platform anyway, so I would have worn one regardless, but yeah, I'm gonna get like a chunky platform boot. It smells so nice, like when you whisk it, you can really smell the vanilla. Now for the satisfying part. We've got the milk, we've got the ice, we've got the matcha. That looks incredible. We've got our straw. Gonna give it a little mix. I'm really in my matcha era right now. I'm really not fancying coffee. It's definitely like a matcha type month for me. Taste. It's just so nice. I don't know how they make it taste like actual cake batter. Okay, let's do an update. So it's actually so cold. I've had to get under a blanket. I don't know what's going on. But I did finish The Rebel Witch a few days ago, and I have decided to rate it a 4-star, which is pretty good. I am happy with that rating. I feel like as far as fantasies go, it was a fun, enjoyable time, but it didn't give me anything more. Like, it didn't make me think, wow, I'm obsessed. Like, I wish there was way more books in the series. Like, I can't stop reading. It didn't make me feel like that, but when I was reading, I was like, okay, this is fun. This is a fun time, but it just definitely didn't give me anything higher than a 4-star vibe. I think that the way that Kristen Cicerelli writes is really nice. It's like nice writing that you can just sit and use no brain power. It's really understandable. I really like the characters that she has written. I love Gideon and Rune. I feel like their relationship is so like I just love it. I feel like their enemies to lovers storyline is perfect, and I think Rune is such a good female main character. She's strong, but at the same time she's got more of a sensitive side. And yeah, if you are looking to get into fantasy, I highly recommend starting this duology. I mean, first of all, it's a duology, so you're not dedicating your time to a big series. You can read these within, I mean, I honestly feel like you can sit and binge these pretty quickly. I think the world building is super easy to understand. You've got the romance aspect, which is always good. The magic systems and things like that are super easy to understand as well. But at the same time, although it's easy to understand, it's still got that unique element, because I have personally never read a romantasy book with the kind of magic system that this one has, where it works with like blood and runes and sort of like making spells out of blood. Like, I've never seen that before. That is how the magic system works. So basically witches, they use blood to like pencil out the markings on themselves, and then the marking that they've penciled out will be a spell. So that's how the magic system sort of works, and it leaves little scars afterwards, which I just found very interesting. I've never really seen that before, and yeah, I thought it was a fun time. It was interesting. I'm glad that I have now wrapped up another series. That's the great thing about duology, is you literally just wrap them up so fast. I will definitely read more from this author. I think that she is a really promising author for me. I think I could definitely find some more 5 stars within her work. I do believe she has another series out already. Yeah, it's called the Iskari series. If you love enemies to lovers, if you love witchy vibes, if you love sort of more of a atmospheric, dark, when I say dark, I mean like dark tones. Like, I feel like this is very much like candlelight and castles and dark red dresses, things like that. If you love that, if you love an FMC that is not just powerful but also has that like sensitive, sort of younger feeling side, and if you love a main male character who is very much like obsessed with his love interest, then I feel like you're gonna love this series, and I would highly recommend giving it a go. I had a great time. And then I picked up the next book for this video. My next anticipated release has been Wildside by Elsie Silver, which is the third book in the Rose Hill Ranch series. So we have Wild Love, Wild Eyes, and then Wildside, and I think the last one is going to be Wild Card. I am currently up to chapter 21, which is page 176, so I've read that much of the book. I find that Elsie Silver's writing is just so easy to sit and binge. I honestly feel like you can read her books in one sitting if you really wanted to. Her writing style is I love it. I love an Elsie Silver book, and when I tell you, I was so excited when this came through the door. I ordered it from Amazon and it came, and as soon as it was here I was like, yes! Like, the whole day before I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to read this book, I'm so excited. I was just buzzing. I love a new Elsie Silver book, seriously. She's one of my favourite authors ever, and I rated Wild Eyes a 5-star. That was just so good for me. I love West, I love Skylar, I loved that whole trope, I loved the whole ranch sort of feel that one had, because Wild Love was a 3.75 for me. I personally think that one didn't give me the Elsie Silver vibe. Ford was a billionaire and he was like a music producer, and then I just feel like it didn't have that like Elsie Silver small town vibe, you know? However, Wild Eyes did have that vibe, and I was very much like, yes, 5-star energy. It was sort of on like more of a quaint house with horses, and the main guy felt a bit more like a typical Elsie Silver guy. Loved it. And then this book I'm a bit surprised by, because the main guy is actually a wrestler, and it's just, he's like one of the wrestlers that, I don't know what it is, but where they sort of act out. It's like not real wrestling, like it's scripted and they have to like act out the wrestling and things like that. That's what this guy does, and I just don't know what it is, but I'm not really loving that aspect. It doesn't feel like a typical Elsie Silver book. I feel like with Elsie Silver, I tend to pick up her books expecting a small town cowboy romance, and when I don't get that, it's just a bit like, like, Elsie, that's kind of what I signed up for. But I understand that she probably can't do that for every single book. But yeah, he's a wrestler and she is a restaurant owner, and they basically know each other because her sister, who was an addict, she moved to a town called Emerald Lake, and her next door neighbour was Riz, our main male character. So Tabitha goes round and she says, look, my sister's moving in next door, I would really like you to keep an eye on her, please. This is her fresh start, help make this a safe place for her, and he agrees. And Tabitha's sister also has a son called Milo, so Riz ends up kind of helping out a bit when childcare isn't available for the sister, and he helps out, builds up this bond with Milo, almost like he is Milo's guardian. And then Tabitha's sister has sadly passed away, and Riz has been left to be Milo's legal guardian in her will. So now he is that, and Tabitha's like, well, he's also my nephew, like I obviously want to take care of him, and they're kind of battling it out for who can have full custody of Milo, because Riz he can't live in this area for too long. He has to fly a lot for work, so he would essentially be moving Milo to a different state from Tabitha, and they're kind of like not really liking each other. Tabitha's a little bit mean to Riz, and they've got this like dislike going on. I don't know what it is, but I'm not feeling connected to this couple like I was with the last couple, Skylar and West. I feel like there's something missing for me, and I can't put my finger on what it is. I don't know what it is, but I'm not that connected to them. Like, I'm not absorbed by this couple where my heart actually feels like, wow, like I love reading about them. It doesn't feel like that. I'm kind of just like, yeah, this is a cute couple. Yeah. And it's also a bit of a slower burn as well. So yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm just not that connected to the characters. So yeah, but you do see a glimpse of these in book 2. So, and that really does set up this story quite well. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep reading. Hopefully I'll get more connected to the characters, but at the moment it's not giving 5-star energy. It's honestly giving 3-star energy. I will keep you updated. It is much later now. As you can see, it's kind of gotten a lot darker. I've been reading and I can't tell if I love or hate the couple. I can't actually tell if I love or hate the couple. I just don't know. I just don't know. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I kind of like this guy. And then other times I'm like, he's giving me the ick. And I just don't know what's giving me the ick. I can't put my finger on it. But something about the couple sometimes, I'm just like, I feel like there's just not a lot of chemistry. I feel like we're being told that there's chemistry, but there's not actually that much chemistry. Like, they're in a very forced proximity situation, and fair enough, like, they're gonna be around each other, but then I'm just like, but I just don't see it. I don't see the romance. But then sometimes he'll say something and I'm like, okay. Hey. But then other times I'm like, guys, like, what am I even saying right now? But I don't know. I just can't tell if I am rooting for this couple or if I'm just like having an entertaining time. Like, am I rooting for the couple because I love the couple, or is it just something that's fun to pass the time right now? I can't tell. Sometimes I like Riz, and then sometimes I'm like, and then sometimes I like Tabitha, but then sometimes I'm like, Tabitha, like, I don't know. I don't know where I stand with this. I think it's confusing me because Elsie Silver is one of my favourite authors, and I'm just not loving this as much as I usually love her other books. But we're gonna finish it tonight and then I'll give you my full review. Sorry that this clip was all over the place. I have now officially finished both of the books that I set out to read for today's reading vlog. I have also seen better days. I am looking not my best right now, but we're just gonna ignore that. I also seriously need some artwork at the back of my bed. I just feel like that space looks so empty. I literally look like I'm in like an empty room. I seriously need to get some artwork for that. However, I have finished Wildside by Elsie Silver and I'm gonna rate it a 3-star. It's not a bad 3-star by any means. It's like a good 3-star. It's like a I had a fun time 3-star. And I think that it was a good book. It just wasn't my favourite Elsie Silver book ever. And I feel like I had a hard time connecting to the couple and to the characters. And that's what really set it apart from the 5 stars I've had from Elsie before. I still had a great time nonetheless. I still enjoyed it, and I want to say I read it within like 5 hours or something like that. Like, I really did fly through it. Obviously not 5 hours together, like all at once, but if like over a few days. When I was reading fast, and I feel like I was really getting through it, and I think it was just a fun giggly time. I liked the story. I feel like it did focus a little bit too much on Riz for me. I feel like towards the end we really started to focus on the wrestling storyline, and we didn't really even see much of Tabby's journey or Tabby's storyline, where I feel like she really had a lot to delve into. I mean, she's grieving, she's going through loss of her sister, she owns a restaurant that she has bought when she was young and runs it all by herself. Like, she has so many factors that we could have, I feel, explored more and talked about more, and then I feel like we really did just, as soon as we hit maybe like the halfway mark, it just took a 180 and it was like all about Riz, all about the wrestling, all about that. And I feel like although I liked that and I feel like that was important to the plot, I think we also could have balanced it out with Tabby's story and sort of made them both have like 50-50 content within the book, because I do feel like she kind of got left a little bit and we didn't really see her too much. I feel like we don't even really know her that much. It's all very surface level with these characters, and I do feel like as well the romance was kind of just thrown at us and we were sort of being like, yeah, this is the romance, you better believe it. And we didn't really get shown how the romance was developing. So overall, I did have a fun time and it was entertaining. I just didn't feel connected to the characters, and that's why it's a little bit lower rated from me. I also don't know what it is, but I think with the Rose Hill series, I'm not getting as much found family as I have with her other series, like Chestnut Springs and even Gold Rush Ranch. Like, I feel like this one doesn't have that like found family that I'm like clinging to. I don't know, maybe we'll get it in the last book, who knows, but I think it's the last book. We also did get a teaser for the next book, and I will be running to the shops to buy that book because it sounds wild. The plot is plotting. I can't actually believe Elsie's never done a storyline like this before, because it's gonna be so good. I think it's called Wildcard, and I think that's going to be my favourite in the series. That might even top Wild Eyes. I can already right now I need that book in my hands, because I feel like that's going to be like a 6-star read. It's going to be Heartless level perhaps. Maybe that was a bold statement, but I'm so excited for that. And the tropes, yeah, I'm excited, but we're not getting that one, I don't think, until maybe later this year. Who knows? But yeah, 3-star. So in this video I have had a 4-star and a 3-star, which is pretty good. Like, we've not really had any books that I've disliked. I feel like these anticipated releases were really anticipated by me, obviously, but they were definitely ones that I needed to read as soon as they came out. So I'm really glad that I've got to them now. I've officially closed off a duology, which is always fun, and I have read another book in a series and tick that off. I'm glad that I've read these 2 books. I've had a really fun time. They're very different. We've had like a more small town romance book, and then we've had more of like a YA fantasy romantasy type book. So I've had a great week of reading. As always, let me know if you have read any of these books, if you enjoyed them, what you rated them. I'd love to know your thoughts on Wildside if you've read this one, just because I feel like I perhaps might be in the minority with this one. I'm not sure. I still enjoyed them as a couple, but just not how I usually do. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you for staying till the end of this reading vlog. I've got some fun reading vlogs planned for the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.